Hey everyone, it's Phil. I am here. It's a great honor to be talking to the world famous cosplayer, Anna Mia. How are you doing
Hello.
today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. I can't believe you agreed to talk to me. This is great.
No problem.
Let's see, where do I begin? Oh, I guess we start at the beginning. When did you start cosplaying?
Let's see. I started in like 2007, 2008. I went to like I've always been into like geeky stuff and anime and stuff like that. And I never knew that conventions existed until one of my coworkers told me about anime conventions.
Huh.
So I was like, oh my God, there's actually conventions for this. So I went to my first one and I saw people cosplaying and they just looked like they were having so much fun. So I was like, oh my God, I want to do this. And that's kind of how it started. And then it just snowballs from there.
So is that your is that your big passion is anime?
It used to be. I watch less anime now than I used to. I'm more into graphic novels right now. I'm always been a big reader. So for me, I started off reading comics, kind of took a lull, got into anime. Now I'm more back into comics again. It's like this ebb and flow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love comics. That's my big thing. Is I love Marvel and DC
hmm
and a little of the smaller companies, but yeah, Marvel and DC, the comics, TV. That's all like my big thing now.
Yeah, I love it. See, I'm actually the opposite. I like more the independent publishers
Okay.
than I do Marvel and DC. Though I used to be a big more DC though than I was Marvel, but I used to be big into them.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because I've seen some of your cosplays. You know, the superhero stuff.
Yeah, I kind of do a little bit of everything with my cosplays. It's basically everything that I love. So, and kind of whatever I'm in the mood for. Like I find anime costumes to be more fun to build sometimes, just because they're more elaborate.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm doing comic cosplays just because then I get to be characters that I've really gotten to love and enjoy. But I always try to do niche characters a lot, which is kind of fun for me. But then most people have no idea what I'm wearing.
You do a good job because every picture I've seen, I swear I have to look. I'm like, wait, that's not her, is it? Because some people you could tell it's the same person in different
Yeah.
outfits. I swear I look at you and I'm just like, wait, that's not her. Wait, yeah, it is.
It all depends. Well, I think part of it, a lot of it's makeup, and I think part of it is also that I'm half. So I can do like the anime characters and make myself look very, I guess, like just the way that I do my makeup, I can make it look more Asian. And then people have told me, they're like, oh my God, you look really, you look less Asian in this picture. So it's all makeup and wigs and magic. A little bit of magic.
That's crazy. Do you watch any of the superhero stuff on TV now?
I've tried some of them. Like I was kind of into Gotham for a little bit, and same thing with the Flash. I like iZombie. I actually like iZombie better than on TV than I like the comic.
Okay.
And then Jessica Jones. I just started watching Jessica Jones.
Oh yeah.
So I really like that one.
I'm so addicted to that. I'm already on like episode 10.
Are you? I'm only on 4, but I got kind of distracted with the holidays. But now that everyone's kind of gone and it's gotten quieter, I'll probably end up marathoning that.
That's cool. Let's see. Why I wanted to talk to you because you're coming to town here to the Steel City Con next weekend.
Yep.
Hopefully I'll see you there. I wanna get down there. Hopefully nothing gets in the way, but
Yeah, I'm excited. I've been to Pittsburgh a couple times. I've got some friends down there. But I haven't been to a big convention there, and everyone tells me that Steel City is like the big convention to go to. So I'm excited to go to a big convention in Pittsburgh.
yeah, it's getting big here now because just to warn you, it'll be wall to wall crowd. Last couple times, it's just I don't know if the space isn't big enough, but there's just people everywhere.
That's like a good and bad problem to have. It's good for a con because it shows, that they're doing well and that there's growth, and
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, you're a sardine. You're a sardine in a hallway, and it's kind of hard as a convention goer. But it's good to know that conventions are getting that popular, that they're having those problems.
Yeah, the good news is you'll have a ton of people coming to see you. Bad news, you won't have room to breathe.
It'll be fun though. I'm excited.
So, what are some of your favorite cons?
I mean, San Diego Comic Con. It's what I call the Mecca Con. It's the con that every geek should go to at least once in their lifetime, like the bucket list con. New York is another big one. That's one of those huge experiences to go to. It also happens to fall on my birthday every year, so it's kind of a nice opportunity to get people. Oh, my friends who live like everywhere to get them into town for one chance. But honestly, I like smaller hometown cons. They're more like reminiscent of the cons that I started going to. They've got that
Mm-hmm.
kind of more intimate feel. I went to an anime con in Canada not too long ago. And it was really tiny, but it was probably one of those cons that I felt had the most heart, and I was just like, everywhere I turned, it was like I saw little me in costumes everywhere, and I'm just like, oh, this is like the cons that I started going to, and so I like those little hometown ones because it's kind of where you start off, and it's got that real heartfelt like soul to it, I guess.
So you haven't lost touch with us little people.
I love little cons. I love little ones. I feel the people there are just the fans are so more enthusiastic. I think when you get to the bigger cons, people are kind of, I think, a little bit jaded because, like you said, it gets kind of crowded and long lines for bathrooms and long lines for food. And I
Uh-huh.
think it becomes this merchandising, experience after a while. So it's kind of nice to just go back to cons where people are just having fun and enjoying themselves.
That's cool. I've talked to like one or two cosplayers, like nobody like on your scale, but the one thing I always ask because I hear all these stories, it's like, do people ever get like inappropriate with you? With the touching or the.
I've had one experience, and honestly, I don't think the guy did it maliciously. It was the experience of kind of the dual picking me up before asking me for a picture,
Mm-hmm.
and then at the same time like giving me a goodbye hug that was kind of a little too close to the sides, if you know what I mean. When you're pulling back, it was like, okay. But I don't think the guy really honestly knew what he. I mean, I honestly think he might have had something socially where he didn't really understand that was inappropriate. So
Okay.
it was one of those situations where it was like, all right, someone should tell him so he doesn't do that again. But just be nice about it, because And so we did have someone kind of, because he came back by again for another hug, and it was like, oh, okay, no, 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 no. So that's the only experience I've really had, and in all honesty, I think the guy just socially didn't click to him. But and I've heard stories, and it's kind of one of those. I wonder if it is that social awkwardness as opposed
Mm-hmm.
to. So I judge situations on how it is, and the kind of person, and luckily I've only had one situation like that in person that made me a little uncomfortable. So, and it wasn't malicious. So I guess I've gotten lucky. But I
So
I don't know. I haven't heard too many stories. I feel like stories like that are honestly rarer than they kind of get brought up to seem.
okay, that's good because just the few stories I've heard, I just thought, oh man.
I think out of all the interactions that cosplayers have with people, the hundreds of interactions that we all have at cons every time we, as a cosplayer, just going and being asked for photos. You get asked for photos 100 times a day at a con. Sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think if you compare all those numbers to the number of times someone's had a really bad experience, it's really rare, but. They do happen, and so it's just kind of being prepared and knowing what would you do in that situation. I always tell, and this applies to like girls and guys too, like outside of cosplays, always prepare yourself for any kind of situation. Like, what would I do if this situation happened? Most of the time, it's going to be go find con staff and let them know what happened. But never be afraid to tell con staff. They're prepared to handle that kind of that kind of situation.
Well, I'm just glad to hear it, and it's never been anything too serious.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. What's your favorite cosplay to do? Or
Um,
is that like asking you to pick like your favorite child or
it
something?
is because I love all my costumes for different reasons. I guess my favorite, and I haven't worn it in a while. I should probably wear it again. It is my Supergirl. Just because that's the costume that made me not be as shy. I used to be super shy. And I know, right? Like unbelievable. I can do panels. I can talk in front of panels of like hundreds of people now. But back when I was, in college, doing public speaking classes full of 10 people, I would stutter my way through it. But I feel like wearing Supergirl, I don't know what it was, is it's like when you put on a costume, part of it is you take on that character a little bit. And that's part of the fun part about it is you get to be a character that you don't get to normally be. And so for me, I feel like the more I wore that costume, I kind of became almost Kryptonian. And I took on I took on her like confidence and her powers, and it's the costume that I attribute like me not being as shy and just kind of breaking out. So that's why I love that one.
I think a lot of us are like that because I was pretty shy when I was younger, and no,
Hmm.
no, I talked to people. Like, I was even nervous thinking I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to talk to her, and I think maybe later in life we just try to go in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I think we get wiser as we get older, and we're just like, who cares? We stop caring as much as we get older, I think.
Exactly. It's just like, who cares what people think?
Exactly.
All right, so you don't have a favorite cosplay. Do you have a favorite genre, like superhero or anime or?
Honestly, it's whatever strikes my fancy. I have like a whole list of costumes and like characters that I want to do, and they range from everything. Just because, it's a lot of it's based on what I watch. Because I always have something on TV,
Mm-hmm.
whenever I'm working on costumes and stuff like that. I'm a very like TV oriented person, so I've always got like an anime or anime less so because I can't do stuff and read subtitles at the same time. But I've always got movies and TV shows or something going on and get inspired by that, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my god, I want to be that character, and then I add that to the list, and it never ends.
But I'm always like jealous. Like I think I would like to do it, but I don't have this. I don't think I have the skill. And is it expensive? And like, how long does it take you to put an
No,
outfit together?
honestly, I had no skills in making costumes when I started. I actually bought my first costume, which I'm one of those people. It doesn't matter if you make your costume or if you buy it,
Mm-hmm.
as long as one, you have fun, and two, you're honest about it. Like, especially if you go competitive, to always be honest about it, but just own it and just have fun. And so I don't think necessarily you have to have the skill. Mine was, I bought a costume and it looked horrible on me because it didn't really fit me right. So then I was
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm going to learn how to make it. And I did a lot of hand sewing at first, and then finally bought a sewing machine and like learned how to do it from YouTube, and the internet is your friend for everything in the world.
Oh yeah.
That's how I learned how to do everything. But honestly, it depends. It can be as expensive or as time consuming as you want to make it. I've seen people make amazing costumes by thinking out of the box and using things that they have around the house. I killed my Swiffer jet for my Machiko costume. We had one of those Swiffer jet vacs, and the part that holds the liquid is actually the perfect shape for the Predator backpacks. So I was like, honey, I'm gonna use this, and I promise that I'll put it back together after I take this part off. And then I didn't realize as I'm like disassembling it that you can't really assemble it. You can't put it back together without that part. And I'm like, I'll just buy us a new one. I'm sorry. Like calling out from the kitchen as I'm like taking it apart. Like I've seen people make hats from oatmeal boxes or like the oatmeal canisters, and you wouldn't even be able to tell. So you can really do it cheap. I always say for cheap stuff, go to Salvation Armies, are great places, thrift stores. Um, I'll walk in there or I'll walk into Home Depot, and they're always like, oh, can I help you find something? Because I don't know if it's because I'm a girl, But they're always like, "Oh my god, do you need help? Do you need help? Like, why are you here? We don't know why you're in a, you know."
Yeah.
So I'm always like, "Yeah, no, I'm good," because I have no idea what I'm looking for. I just know that I need something about this size and that's this shape. I mean, I've put pieces of toilets, like parts for toilets, onto my costume, but it was cheaper than having one of those pieces made or having so. You can do it cheap.
Okay, and sewing skills aren't required.
Sewing skills are not required.
That's cool. But what's what are some of your goals with your cosplaying career?
I don't know. I'm kind of having fun with it. It's kind of weird that it's even a career right now. I never expected this. I was actually a recruiter for Microsoft before this, so I worked in a cubicle, and then now I do this. I don't know really. I'm kind of living it day to day and seeing where it takes me and having fun, and hopefully when this is over. I mean, I'll always be cosplaying. I think I'll be like 70 years old and still going to conventions and cosplaying. I probably won't be wearing a skimpy of clothing. Dear Lord, I hope not at 70. But I'll still be cosplaying. But as far as a career, I don't know, just having fun with it. Hopefully, making the right connections and networking in kind of the spaces that I'd love to work in afterwards. Like, afterwards, I'd love to work in something in gaming or in comics, and hopefully, this will kind of put me in the right spots to work for a dream company sometime. So we'll see.
You mentioned YouTube. You should have like a class on YouTube or something about how to build your costumes.
I've thought about it. One of the things there's a couple of ideas for YouTube videos that I've been thinking about and kind of expanding out there and getting into things that I really love, like costume making and also comics. So we'll see. I've got some projects in the works. I just am not the best at video editing at all. I kind of suck at it, so I'm still getting the nerves over just being on camera. It comes from that shyness. Like I said, I can be in front of a room full of a couple hundred people and talk and MC a costume contest, but then you put a little blinking camera in front of me, and I still, yeah, I'm horrible, and I get really shy. So we're working on the YouTube videos. I just got to get over the shyness a little bit more.
Well, just go with your strengths. Just wear a costume every time.
There you go. I'll just wear a mask. So I
There you
tell
go.
people that are really shy about, they're like, oh, I want to cosplay, but I'm really shy, and I'm always like, go with something masked first, because then you can still be in costume and put yourself out there, but not fully have to put yourself out there. So maybe
All
I'll
right,
do that.
let's put the word. Yeah, let's put the word out there now. Is there any cons you haven't been to yet you'd like to go to?
That I haven't been to that I want to go to. Let's see.
Yeah.
I want to go to Anime Expo just because I've heard that the costumes there are phenomenal. So I really want to go to that one. I really want to do more international shows this year. Fingers crossed. I got to go to London last year. I'm there's the I can't really say for sure, but I may or may not be going to China this year. So I'm hoping to get out there and do more international shows. I also did Mexico and Canada this year, so hopefully more international shows so I can see more of my fan base out internationally. So yay!
Yay. I think that's about it of what I had. Is there anything you'd like to promote? I think I saw something today on Twitter. You have a toy drive or something going on?
Yes, I have a Christmas charity toy drive that I do with one of the missions here in DC. It's the Central Union Mission, Operation Christmas Miracle. So basically, I'm doing a toy drive. If people want to go to my page or the Aggressive Comics website, there's more information on how you can donate to the charity drive. We raised $1,700 last year, and I went and bought a bunch of toys and delivered them to the mission. And so we've already raised $750 right now. And it ends December 15th, so we're doing really good on hopefully beating last year's contributions, and hopefully donating a bunch of toys to kids, and then also sales from my poster stores. A portion of that is going to go towards the charity drive as well. So
Wow, that is a really great thing.
yeah, I'm excited. I love doing this every year. So plus,
And
it
you mentioned
feeds my addiction to go shopping too.
Yeah, you get to help people and go shopping.
Exactly. I'm like, see, I kill two birds with one stone. Cause I like shopping for other people, but I'm not exactly rich, so I get to
Yeah.
shop for charity, which is fun.
But you mentioned your store, so where can everyone find your website?
Oh yeah, you can find me on any of my social media by searching Anemia, or you can go to my store at anemia.storenvy.com. And yeah, like I said, a portion of all the sales until December 15th are going towards my toy drive. So yay! I'm excited. I'm really excited. It's kind of my thing that I enjoy doing. Last year, I didn't really think about the amount of room in the car that's needed to take everything. But I'm like, kids get really excited about big gifts. I'm like, I want to give them big boxes, and then trying to pack that all into a Honda Civic was a little challenging. And so this year I'm like, I want to buy bikes for kids. And so luckily I've gotten a few friends that have volunteered vehicles. So hopefully this year we'll pack 2 cars full of toys.
Oh, that's awesome. And like we said, you're going to be at the Steel City Con next weekend. What is that, December 4th through the 6th?
Yep.
Yeah. Are you there every day? Or?
I will be there every day. I do leave a little bit early on Sunday, so if you are coming on Sunday, come see me a little bit earlier, just because I fly out that afternoon. So got to catch my flight home.
Okay. And Friday and Saturday, are you there?
Friday all day.
Okay. And Saturday?
Yep. I'll be there.
Cool. Like I said, I'll try to stop down.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, stop by and come see me.
Cool. All right. Is there anything else you want to promote?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, again, thank you very much. I really appreciate the
no
opportunity
problem
to talk to you. And like I said, everyone go down and see her. Steel City Con, December 4th through the 6th.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Hey, thank you. All right. Have a good night.
You too. All right. Bye.
Anemia, a great cosplayer who does charity work. So, like I said, really great person. Everyone, make sure you go out and support her. I know she's coming, like I said, she's coming locally for me, December 4th through the 6th, Steel City Con in Monroeville. And if you want to get a hold of me with any questions, like I said, all the time, you can talk to me anything Marvel, DC, or even if you want to be interviewed by me, if you're a cosplayer, or if you're in the comics industry, or you just think you're in a interesting medium or whatever, just you can get a hold of me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com, and on Twitter I am @nightwingpdp. Well, that's it for now. Later, guys.